Founders Mode. Welcome to Startup Hack. I'm Spencer Thomason, and here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers and build custom software solutions. I do a lot of work as a fractional CTO. With over a decade of executive leadership and a solid 25 years of software development, I've mastered the art of transforming technology teams and products. So let's dive into Founders Mode. What exactly is it? Paul Graham coined the term to describe a mental state that founders can get into, a state of hyper-focus and deep involvement in the product or company. It's when everything in your mind aligns with the success of your startup. You're not just managing, you're driving. This mindset is where some of the best innovation happens, but it's intense, all-consuming, and not sustainable long-term. Graham notes that the trick is knowing when to enter Founders Mode, and more importantly, when to exit it. But let's dive into this topic a little more today. So, Founder Mode starts with a relentless energy. Paul Graham's piece describes a talk that was given at Y Combinator. And in this piece, he described founders who are hands-on with every aspect of the business, from product to customer service. So, Brian Chesky was originally the founder of the talk, but Paul Graham restated it for everybody since there was no recording of it. Now, it's what Brian Chesky of Airbnb did when they were just getting started. Chesky went as far as living with users to understand their experience. That's Founder Mode in its rawest form. It's about being so embedded in your product that you can feel what your users feel. This level of engagement can build a widely successful business, but it's not sustainable forever. So why isn't everyone in Founders Mode all the time? Well, it's because it requires everything you've got, mentally, emotionally, and physically. The burnout potential is real, but when done right, as we see in companies like Airbnb, it can catapult a startup to unimaginable success. Now, another great example of this is Elon Musk. We see in his companies where he goes all the way down to the engineers and will challenge everybody's thinking. This is another great example of Founders Mode. Now, another great set of examples to compare is the Bezos versus Nadal example, and it gives us a perfect contrast. Bezos, who is all about Founders Mode, often maintained that hands-on leadership style at Amazon. He's known for being hyper-involved, ensuring Amazon stayed customer-focused and driving innovation. Nadal, on the other hand, is more strategic. He doesn't always need to be in the trenches. Both methods do work, but the difference lies in the timing and scalability. Nadal is more about building systems and empowering teams, while Bezos was about relentless execution. Now, the key takeaway here, there's a time for each style. So let's look at the structure of these companies. Now, as the structure shows on these companies, it depicts in this great graphic here. Amazon's hierarchy is disciplined, streamlined. Every node leads back to the top in some way, much like Bezos' hands-on style. Compare that to Facebook's almost chaotic, interconnected structure. It feels a bit like the Wild West, right? Both structures have their strengths and their weaknesses, but it's clear that the founder's involvement shapes them. It's a delicate balance between letting things run on their own and knowing when to jump in. Take Apple under Jobs. There's no mistaking the founder's influence. Jobs was gravitational center of everything. Every decision, every product felt like it had his stamp on it. This is where Founders Mode shines, and really the example that Brian Chesky used. It can turn a company into a reflection of the founder's vision, for better or for worse. But again, it's not sustainable forever. One of the examples that they gave was how Jobs would take 100 of his top employees, and these weren't always just managers. Sometimes they were engineers and various different levels of employees off for an offsite every year. And this was one of the things that really got him thinking, Brian Chesky thinking about Founders Mode. So let's take a look at Oracle. The chart shows a system that is incredibly legal focused. It's like the entire company is geared toward protecting what they've built rather than building something new. When founders step away or move into a more passive role, this can happen. Legal and structure becomes the priorities. But where's the innovation? Where's the magic? It's a good reminder that staying too long outside of Founders Mode can hurt you. So now founders run companies different because they're emotionally invested. It's not just business, it's personal. They've built something from the ground up, and that connection makes them willing to take risks that a hired CEO might not. That's why Founders Mode can be so valuable. It keeps the company moving forward when others might play it safe. But, and it's a big but, you have to know when to step back. Founders Mode isn't about micromanaging. It's about leading with passion and vision. Staying in it too long can cause a company to stagnate or even implode. Now, ultimately, the best run company knows when to switch between Founders Mode and Managers Mode, and a more scalable, sustained leadership in Managers Mode. Nadal, for example, understands that Microsoft doesn't need to be in Founders Mode all the time. He's learned how to balance hand-on leadership with empowering his team. The real skill lies in knowing when to switch gears. And hey, if you want to see more tips on leadership or software development, make sure to check out our previous videos. We try to bring you a lot of great value here at Startup Hack. So I'm a big fan of the book of Traction, and Traction is a great example here that talks about Founders Mode. One of the way they talk about it is working in your business versus working on your business. When you work in your business, that's like founder's mode. When you work on your business, it's a little bit more like manager mode. But I think it can make a big difference, and you need to be able to switch and know when to switch between these two. Ultimately, how you run your company is going to be a huge thing, and everybody right now has an opinion about founder's mode. So what's your take? Leave a comment down below. Here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers in our coding bootcamp and to build custom software solutions for people. So make sure you check out the link down below or go to startuphack.com today.